What is going on, guys? Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are across this beautiful wide world. Alrighty, happy Friday to all the Aussies and to the rest of us. I hope you're having a beautiful end to your week, guys. Sunny Thursday, perhaps. We are going to start this episode up in just 2 minutes, and I'm pumped. After yesterday's frustration with Meta, where they didn't actually let us do anything at all, we're back today and we're ready to rock and roll. So if you're coming into this one live, guys, you know the drill. We're going to kick this off in just 2 minutes, and we're going to be talking a little bit about strength training today. Of course, my favorite topic, as always. So if you're coming into this one live, guys, let us know that you're down here. Get into the comments, say hello, and how's your week been? Tezza, what the bloody hell's going on, mate? How are you? I hope you're good, champion. Hello, Stace. Stace, I've got to say, mate, every time I see your posts in the group, it makes me so happy because I know that you're busy as hell with a new baby and you just keep showing up, mate. So freaking good. Well done. Guys, we're going to start this episode off in 90 seconds. So if you're coming into this one live, make sure you get down in the comments and let us know that you're here and you're ready to rock and roll. And if you do watch this on replay, guys, the best thing you can do is hashtag replay in the comments so that we know you've actually been here, got a little bit of value and got out of here. And hello, Dennis, how are you, champion? I hope you're good. I just realized that I didn't prep to go live on Instagram, which is a bit of a fail, isn't it? Who else we got in here? Letitia, what's going on, girlfriend? Hey, Loza, coming in live as well. Guys, we're starting in just short of a minute. And I'm going to prep this up. Strength training. How's the Friday been, Loz? Nice little start, mate. I hope you're having a banging start to your morning. All right, I think we are about ready to rock and roll, my dudes and dudettes. So shall we get this started? I think so. Hey, Loz. All right, let's just make sure we're all set up here, guys, to do the recording, and let's do it. On the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you are sick of the dumb diets and unsustainable workout programs. I don't know if it's premature. Are we allowed to say happy holidays? Is it holidays yet? Are you into the holiday zone? I think a lot of us are kind of like starting to go like this, where we're like, it's holiday time, right? And cruising into Christmas. I can talk about that on future episodes, but we're about creating momentum towards the end of the year. What you don't want to do, it is literally, if you've wasted the last 11 and a half months, don't waste the last 2 or 3 weeks. This is an opportunity for you to get into momentum before the new year. Create some wins, create some confidence for yourself. Now, if you're in Better Body Academy and you're watching this episode, I want to remind you that next Wednesday, we are having our awards call. So we got the workshop done last week, and there was over 100 people on the workshop. We're going to kick this year to the curve with a big awards call on Wednesday. So please, if you have the ability to come and make it, get on. Let's get stuck into this episode. I want to talk about something very dear to my heart, and that is how strength training makes you a better parent. Let's talk about this. The biggest 2 complaints that I see coming from parents when they're trying to start their journey, they say 2 things. They say, oh man, I'm a busy mum and dad and I've got no energy and I've got no time. Let me know if you feel exactly like that. You got no energy and no time. And you know what? When you're trying to juggle all the responsibilities of having kids, work, finances, that makes a lot of sense. It's true, right? You don't have an infinite supply of time. But what I see in healthy, successful parents is that those things don't become an excuse. As opposed to saying, I've got no time or I've got no energy, they have created time, and energy as a consequence of the things that they've done, right? So rather than it being an excuse, they think to themselves, well, I'm not going to put up with having no time and no energy. I'm going to do something about it. Since becoming a dad, which was the best ever thing that happened to me, and it happened a little bit later in life, and I think I'm an awesome dad, right? Since becoming a dad, it's become even more important for me to have energy. And I'll tell you why. If I approach life like this, I can keep being an awesome dad and keep sharing love and experiences with my kids if A, I'm alive, B, if I'm functional while I'm alive. Pretty useless being alive if you can't do anything. If I'm functional while I'm alive. And 3, if I have love for myself and I'm not so caught in my own mental health issues that it gives me no capacity to actually share love with other people, be it my kids, my wife, my family. So for me, having kids was amazing, was the best thing in the world. But now, if I'm going to keep feeling great, enjoying the experience of having kids, I need to make sure that I'm doing the right shit that's going to keep me alive, keep me functional, and keep me liking myself and having good mental health so I can keep doing the things that I'm talking about here. And strength training for me is one of the most important components of my life. It gives me these things. It gives me basically being alive, being functional and strong, and being able to love myself. And so, what I want to teach you in this podcast episode is what the benefits of strength training actually are. And secondly, how those benefits come into place, how they work. So, let's divide it by the physical benefits of strength training and then the mental or emotional benefits of strength training. Let's talk about the physical benefits first. If you lack energy, the best thing that you could possibly do is strength training. Now, how does that actually work? Well, number one, it boosts your metabolism. When you do strength training, you build muscle, right? When you build muscle, your metabolism starts to increase. This means that you burn more calories at rest, providing you with sustained energy release over the course of the day. It improves your endurance. If you are not getting so destroyed by the rigors of your day because you have strength, doing activities like carrying kids or walking around doing the shopping becomes so much easier. It regulates your blood sugar. So if you have problems with early onset of diabetes, it's called insulin resistance. One of the very best things that you can actually do is strength training, because building muscle, this stuff here, sucks up the glucose in your blood like a sponge. And what that does is takes away from these booms and crashes of your energy levels that so many people suffer from over the course of a day. This doesn't happen to me. I don't go through these periods of a day where I'm just melting out and going to shit, because I do strength training and I've built muscle, and you can do the exact same thing. Let's keep going. Strength training, the physical benefits, injury prevention. So how does this actually work? When you lift weights, or that can include body weight, resistance bands, dumbbells, training at home, it doesn't matter what it is. When you lift weights, you reinforce the strength of your ligaments and tendons. Here's what happens to a lot of dads, as an example. They will kind of feel this like, I need to start being an energetic dad again. And what they do is they jump out onto the basketball court or a cricket pitch with their kids, and straight away they do their tendon in their heel, their Achilles tendon, they tear it. That's happened because you've been so dysfunctional for a long period of time that all of a sudden you go and try to be super dad or super mom, and boom, your tendons and your ligaments just don't have the strength in them anymore. So many people will lose 10 kilos, take up running, and then realize that they haven't run since high school cross country. They start running, the ligaments and tendons are not supportive enough because they're weak, because they haven't been through strength training protocols, and they snap or they break or they hurt. People with tendonitis and fasciitis in the feet, it's because relative to your weight, your strength level's not there. Strength training fixes that. What about we talk about posture? For so many people, the normal posture that people have is called forward head and rounded shoulders. So for those of you watching on the TV, so to speak, the video, you'll notice that particularly if you've got a desk job, your shoulders will typically be rounded forward and your head will start to collapse like this, right? This is the most prominent posture for most people. So what's the issue with that? As you get weaker and weaker and weaker and older, you're going to start to cave in and cave in and cave in more and more and more. So instead of looking out in front of you at the world, you're looking at the fucking floor. And you see this all of the time with aged people who are going through problems with osteoporosis and arthritis. This is partially preventable by doing strength training. Strength training, and especially with good programming, is going to correct these imbalances that happen in your body. It's going to pull your shoulders up and back, especially if you're at a desk all day and you're in this crouched position. The very one thing you need to do is start opening up your chest. Great way to do that is with things like pulling movements in the gym. Again, strength training. So in terms of long-term health, let's just explore a couple of more areas. If osteoporosis runs in your family, strength training is the only physical cure. How? Well, basically what's happening in osteoporosis is your bones are leaking out minerals, which is making them weaker, right? So when you do strength training, it reinforces the mineralization of the skeleton, the strength of the skeleton. This is why most overweight people don't get osteoporosis, because they've constantly got pressure on their skeleton. So if you're a healthy individual, particularly those of you that do lots of running, or you have say a 50, 60-year-old mum or dad that is quite lightweight, one of the things that I would be encouraging if this person came to me, you need to do strength training, because you're absolutely at risk of developing osteoporosis because you don't have any pressure on your bones. Does this make sense, guys? You know what? We're going to lose muscle as we get older, starting from probably about 30 years of age, due to some changes in your hormones and genetics. You will lose muscle. This is why so many people, all of a sudden, they haven't started eating really badly. They get to 50 and they've got a bunch of extra weight and they're like, fuck, I'm not even eating very badly. Like, why am I putting on weight? It's not that you're surging your calories that are coming in. It's that because you're losing muscle, your metabolism is slowing down. When your metabolism slows down, you burn less calories. That's occurring because you're not doing strength training. So I could keep going on and on and on here, but I'm not going to. What I want you to know is that if you've got weight issues, if you've got strength issues, if you've got body composition issues, if you've got bone issues, joint issues, injury, posture issues, the answer for you is to start strength training. Now let's flip it over. Let's talk about the mental benefits, because I think that what a lot of people do is they, even though I've given you a pretty big list here, they say things like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm just not a gym guy, or I'm just not interested in getting a six pack. Dude, let me tell you something. Getting a six pack is, there are more millionaires in the world than people with six packs. Getting six packs and holding six packs, that should not be the goal. That's not the goal of strength training. You open up your Instagram feed and you see all this bullshit. But the reality is, the strength training physical benefits are just one thing, but the mental and emotional benefits are just a whole new thing. I'm going to say this straight up. I'm going to say this straight without a shadow of a doubt to you in the camera. If I didn't have strength training, I would have mental health issues. I would. I know it. Because for me, strength training is an incredible stress relief. Number one, it's a surge of endorphins that come. Have you ever gone into a gym, done a 30, 40-minute workout and left worse than when you got there? Has that ever happened? Even if you feel like you were hauling ass at the end of the session, you might be tired, sweaty, whatever, but you feel accomplished. And it's because of not the accomplishments, one part of it, but secondly, it's because you're getting this release of endorphins that are related to you lifting stuff, doing channeling stuff. The other part to this is the stress relief component is if you are struggling with your emotions, you need a positive outlet to try to push them into. So, for example, if you're a guy that's angry, like fucking angry at what's going on, what so many men do is they go home and they have no way to push that anger out. They're not great with vocalizing. They don't want to talk about it. So instead, what do? Eat and drink. And so what happens is they gain fat. Imagine a world, now this applies equally to men and women. Imagine a world for you where emotional eating was not so prevalent. Imagine a world where when you got stressed, when you got emotional, you didn't all of a sudden launch into eating half a tin of ice cream, or you didn't launch into 6 beers. I know so many guys, and I'm not criticizing it. It's a lack of skill. I know so many men and women that will go home today, being a Friday in Australia, they will go home today and drink 6 beers to try to make themselves feel better. That's not being critical. That is, I don't know how to process the emotions that I'm feeling. If you had a channel like resistance training, which actually allowed you to process them in a good way so that you felt better afterwards, amazing. Let's talk about sleep. Who here is someone who struggles with sleep? I can tell you straight away, when I don't strength train, for example, typically when I go on a holiday and I have a deload week, I really struggle with my sleep. My sleep quality is shit. I want to tell you why this happens. There's a hormonal component to it. But the thing that people don't realize is strength isn't just how much muscle you've got, right? So for those of you watching the podcast on video, it's not just how much muscle you've got. It is the muscle, but what makes the muscle move and contract? It's the nervous system. So the nervous system sits on top of the muscular system, and think of it like the power cord. This is the vacuum or the hair dryer or the radio or whatever it is that you're powering. And this here is the electrical system that plugs in. Your muscle system needs an electrical system, right? That electrical system is your brain, your spinal column, and your nervous system. Over the course of a day, when it is required to make your muscles contract and flex, what happens is that nervous system gets tired. Are you ever in the position where you are laying in bed, your body feels so fucking tired, but your brain feels awake? Like you're lying in bed, like looking at the roof, wondering why you can't get to sleep, but you're just so tired physically? That's part of what's happening. Your nervous system is not working hard enough. When you do resistance training, you sleep like a bloody baby. because your nervous system gets tired. Does this make sense? Well, let's talk about the confidence boost. I mean, this is a pretty deep podcast, and clearly I'm trying to sell you on this for 2025. Let's talk about the confidence boost. If you started to get stronger, just like step back from the information in this podcast, if you started to get stronger, would you feel more confident or not? Yes or no? If you got stronger, would you feel more confident or not? We don't even need to go deep on this. Of course, you'd feel more confident. If all of a sudden you can go and help out, lift your mum off the lounge or get her out of the car because you're strong enough to get into those positions, you're going to feel more confident with your life. Are you going to have a better body image if you look in the mirror and you see a body that looks more like the composition that you want to have? I'm not saying, is it a cure for all mental health problems? I'm not saying that. But I'm asking you, if you get stronger and you have a physical improvement in your body composition, a reduction in your body fat, an increase in your muscle mass, or what women like to call tone, would that give you a better body image? Yes, of course it will, because you're liking what you see. Are you going to feel more in control if you are saying that I'm going to go to the gym, and then you go to the gym? Absolutely. What about finally as a role model to your kids? Because this is a podcast for busy parents, right? What about are you going to feel like if I'm stronger, if I'm looking better, if I'm modeling the mental health that I've wanted to have for a long time, if you're modeling that to your kids, how is that going to feed back into your own positive sense of self? Like, I could do this podcast and then you'd get very fucking boring because I could go for 10 hours on the benefits of strength training. I am wholly sold that it is one of the most important things in my own personal life. I watch my wife and, like two busy parents, both working, low on time. And sometimes she says, Jace, I'm going to the gym tomorrow and you're going to have to mind the kids. And my initial reaction, honestly, is, fuck, I want to go. But then in the back of my mind, I think to myself, how important is it for my wife and for our relationship and for the health of our kids to feel great about herself? I think this is something that so many men don't give any attention to. They just do their fucking thing and then their wife is left to try to struggle on their own. A healthy family starts when the role models of that family actually lead by example. So let's finish this podcast off with how to get started. Honestly, start very, very small. 2 to 3 workouts, 20 to 30 minutes a week. Don't go to the gym. If you're so scared of going to the gym, do some body weight exercises at home. Go to Kmart or Walmart or whatever's the local store for you and buy some $20 to $30 resistance bands. That's it. Have an approach where you just do the workout when you can, on the days you can. You keep it minimalist for the time being. And then what will happen is as you start to get the feedback in your life of the difference that it makes to your physical and mental health, you're going to want to start doing more of it. And this is what I see all the time and is a perfect way to finish off the podcast, is how is it that people join our academy with no energy and no time? No energy and no time. Yet within a 3 to 6 month period, they seem to have ample fucking time and lots of energy. Isn't that like a strange coincidence? In most cases, through improving our nutrition strategy and slowly building in strength training, You'll start to lose weight. You'll start to get stronger. Your energy level will start to rise a bit. You'll start to get some positive body image feedback about how you feel emotionally, physically, mentally. And then all of a sudden, time starts to appear that at a certain point did not seem to be there. And it all started by you getting started, taking it small, and not trying to overwhelm yourself at the start. Once again, I'm going to be banging out podcasts over the course of the next 12 months, and the content around strength training is going to be number one. It's literally the trifecta system that we teach: nutrition, walking, strength training. If you do these three things in 2025 and beyond, your life will change. This has been the Better Body Academy podcast, coming to you with another episode. I hope it's been helpful, and we'll see you in the next. All right, legends. Peace. Hopefully helpful, guys. If you have any questions, more than happy to answer these into the comments, guys. You're Aussie. It's not happy holiday. Fuck. So true, Tez. I submitted my Canadian citizenship yesterday, Tez. So that's just so I can get the citizenship and then leave without being separated from the kids. So hopefully, mate. Hello, Daz. Good morning, you legend. I absolutely love that you're back in here, Daz, getting the juice. Hey, Nikki, what's going on, girlfriend? Hey, Deb. Hey, Alice. Lovely to have you here, mate. Guys, do you have any questions that you would like to ask before we get out of here? Either around benefits, how to start, etc. Jackie says, I'm so grateful to BBA. If I had not done strength training over the past several months, I would not be able to manage on crutches, because Jackie's just destroyed her knee in a freak accident. And because she's got strength under her belt now, her recovery is going to be half the time. She can actually still get around. So good, Jack. So good. All right, dudes. I think we're going to leave it there. Let's let me check the other chat. Morning, Dino. Hey, Toddy. How are you, mate? All right, guys. Well, hopefully that was helpful. Peace out. I'll see you over the course of the day or week. Peace.